Welcome to the Running Channel podcast with me, Sarah Hartley, 6-time marathoner, and I'm currently training for a PB in Rotterdam in April.
That was an unnecessary flex straight off, wasn't it?
It was, wasn't it?
It's also me, Andy Badley. I've run 2 marathons. The first one I was worried about whether I was going to finish. The second one I went for my fastest time and did manage to knock off 4 minutes.
And me, Rick Kelsey, 1-time marathon runner and currently training for a marathon PB in London this year.
Woohoo! So me and Andy have experienced our first and fastest. Rick has done the first and now is building towards his quickest. And we're going to cover all angles today.
Building is a really good word.
It's building very, very slowly.
Building very slowly. You know, somebody emailed in to Owen and said, do you think Rick set up a half marathon training plan?
I know. I can confirm that Sarah and I had a similar concern 2 weeks ago, and we did actually check through it.
Are being built as quickly as a toddler builds a tower.
Hey,
Yeah, but you think both are easy, right?
we're getting there.
You're getting there, and you think that regardless of pace, the marathon's going to be easy because you're finding the training so easy.
Oh, definitely not. I completely disagree.
Oh, well, yeah, that's not what he said off mic. So, well, they're definitely not the same. 2 very different experiences. We've also got some news, a debate I'm going to ask you, and I've got some bones to pick with both of you about last week's episode, which I wasn't in. But I think we should just get into it.
Bones, not skin.
Skin to pick? That's not an
You don't really
expression.
have some skin to pick.
Go on, what have you got?
Well,
The reason
firstly,
the reason I was talking about skin was because I've started my collagen.
Oh, gosh.
of course you have. I mean, you look
Oh,
great.
sorry. I did notice you look
thank you.
completely different.
No.
You are glowing.
Thank
It is
you.
as if the sun is shining down just on your nose.
Now,
You know what?
the sun is usually shining somewhere, but
I will take it. I've started bovine collagen, and I take it an hour before
Horse
I do my
collagen.
cow collagen.
Right.
And I take it.
good knowledge there, Sarah.
I take it an hour before my long run.
Is
So
that
17k this week. Bovine collagen an hour before. Definitely don't do bars on your long run.
Bars?
Just dry mouth.
We told
I had to
you this.
spit
I
it
listened-
out.
I literally
Yeah.
told you this.
No, I know
Have
last
them
week I said I
before?
tried. It's just I've tried it for a week. Hey, this is all really important stuff.
When
Actually.
you say you've tried it for a week, you mean you tried it on one run, and the length of the run?
14,
14K.
15k, something
Right.
like that, yeah.
just didn't go well.
But we're doing it now. My bone speak last week. I listened back. It was great to hear about Tom's experience. Quite emotional as well, hearing him talk about having taken on the world's highest marathon. Whole podcast, not a single mention of me. Didn't even address the fact that I wasn't there in the introduction.
Didn't we even address it?
No,
That is quite bad.
completely.
That is quite bad.
The
isn't
first
it?
mention was in the question when you're like, "Can anyone remember how long Andy told us an indoor track was?"
Yeah, and by the way, Andy, were you not impressed that I was the only one who knew?
Because you probably had it written down, ready to ask them.
No, well, that just proves that Sarah's not listening to you.
Yeah,
either.
no, it
mention
did.
you at all?
Yeah. Not even
In fact,
a single reference to the fact I wasn't there.
Now, how long is an indoor track?
200 meters.
There you go.
She
did.
Rick
Took her 2
Kelsey is a
goes.
better teacher.
Right. Okay. That's good. So
Did
yeah.
you have a nice time? What did you do?
Well, I wasn't doing anything. I just wasn't allowed to do it.
Oh, didn't you go watch a film?
Oh no, we tried.
Tom was telling me about this. He was like, "Can you believe Andy's taking a day off to go and watch a film?"
No, I
went
was
to the
taking.
cinema?
I was taking a day off because it was half term and I wanted to spend the day with the kids.
Right.
And yeah, we
And there are
planned.
so many.
Yes, and we planned to go to the cinema. I'd booked tickets. I'd also found this really cool board games cafe.
Oh, nice.
Where they just have like an entire library of board games and you can sit and have cake and hot chocolate and stuff and play board games for a few hours. Very
Sounds
excited.
great.
I told them all about this. We got in the van at 10:30 to get to like 11 o'clock, 11:15 showing. The van didn't start. Had to get it towed.
I feel like that van causes more
No,
problems.
the van's been
than-
great.
You had to get
this
it
is the first time.
towed.
Well,
Was
because
it
it was
not on your drive?
it was, yeah, but I had to get it taken somewhere to get the starter motor replaced, which was fun.
Starter motor. That's why I used to carry around a hammer. Do you remember this?
Yes, I do remember this.
I used to
Rick's
literally
original Nissan
go
back
to
in
the
the day.
cinema with a hammer
Why?
because my Nissan Sunny, to start it, I used to have to hit the starter motor with a hammer. So I used to carry a hammer everywhere.
Ridiculous. Wait, so did you not make it to the cinema?
No, we had to put the shutters up in the living room to turn it into a cinema.
Oh,
and
no.
watch a movie.
Tough times.
What?
Yeah.
Because you literally couldn't get.
No, couldn't
Fit
go
all
out,
the-
and it was raining, so we couldn't do anything all
Oh,
day.
because was it full family
Yeah.
outing?
Well, yes, not my lovely wife. She was working, so it was my turn to have the kids. And the so I
You don't have that many kids. How can you not fit those many kids in your car?
Oh, because my wife was working, so I didn't have to get the
she
car.
had the car.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
we were stuck
So
at
you're
home.
stuck at home.
Anyway,
bet
this
you
is
were
not about
so-
running. I'm sure it's boring. I do have a couple of other points from last week's podcast
Right,
before we have a
sorry.
catch up about the running that Sarah and I are doing.
Yeah.
Because Rick's not really doing any. So we
You know what? You're just losing half your audience there.
He's so mean, isn't
I'm
he?
really joking.
Once
You're
an
losing half your
Olympian,
audience.
always an
You
Olympian.
know, there is a reason we didn't speak about him last week.
Oh, yeah.
It was quite nice, actually, wasn't it?
It was
Just having
lovely.
a week off.
couple of things.
Right.
Rick talking about heat acclimating at 20 degrees in the gym. Obviously nonsense. Just wanted to talk about that. 20 degrees is the kind of temperature you'd set your air conditioning to cool it down to in the summer.
Yeah,
So-
but it's warmer than outside. It's
Well, yeah.
15 degrees warmer
No,
than
I
outside.
put my heating to 18.
And I'm sweating.
I'm
The
toasty
amount
warm.
I'm sweating is 3 times what I would be doing if I was running outdoors.
I just want to, someone's got to address the science a little bit. There's going to be zero heat acclimation benefit to you training, or almost none, to training at 20 degrees in a sort of
Sorry, mate.
room temperature
Better luck next time.
gym.
Really?
Yes, really.
But if you go and sit in the sauna afterwards, you might get some
Yeah.
benefit.
Okay.
And then two other points just to finish before we dive into it. One is I saw you expertly described as the Prince of Pamper in a post in the club, in the Running Channel club, which made me chuckle. Thought that was lovely.
Prince of Pamper.
Yeah.
Don't want to add an S to the end of that, otherwise that's a very different
Prince
kind
of
of
Pampers.
prince.
No, this guy's never changed a nappy in his life.
I changed the nappy this morning. It was Sarah who was actually at a spa at the weekend,
Yes.
as well as doing a half marathon.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Sarah, you ran the Beast of Bulldog.
Beast.
The Bulldog Beast.
Not
Sorry,
to be
yes.
confused with Bulldog Beast.
No,
which
Bulldog
if
as
you-
in the place in Hertfordshire.
Yeah. Loved it. It was great.
Yeah, you've been
10
knocking out some
10,
pretty serious mileage
would
recently.
recommend.
Yeah.
So my marathon plan, I'm very much on the I can sustain this for 3 months and then I will go back to bimbling around and having an actual life.
Okay.
But I'm enjoying it whilst it lasts. But it's intense. I had been averaging like 35 to 45 kilometre weeks, like leading into this marathon block.
Yeah.
And then very quickly it's stepped up to, I think, around 62k last week.
Big week, yeah.
Big week of mileage. But yeah, I
I don't understand why you're doing so much.
No, me neither. But I'm hoping it will equal a PB.
It's
But
also an
yeah,
interesting thing, isn't it, when you say it like that? Because we would use the word mileage to describe our total distance.
But it's
then
kilometrage.
it's not kilometrage, is it?
Yeah.
I don't think we'd ever
I
say
don't
that.
even know what 60k is in miles. 35?
Yeah, 35 to 40. Yeah.
Yeah, so when Tom was in Chile, I saw that this race was happening. And so I messaged him and was like, oh, should we go and do this? It's half marathon. But like, you will be so...
Whilst he probably wasn't compass mentis enough to know what he was agreeing to.
No,
if
but
it
at
was at
that point, I
5,000
was
meters.
like, you're about to bash out a marathon at altitude. So a week after you get back, surely like a little half marathon around the countryside would be fine. So I signed both of us up. And then it was the type of course where it was like a lollipop. So like a bit out and backy with like a loop round a village. And I passed Tom when I was at 8 miles and he must have been at maybe 5. And I was like, oh gosh, is he going to be really, really angry at this? Because it was hilly.
Yeah.
And apparently like the first
on trail?
half is...
Or
No,
on
it was mainly like on country roads.
Okay.
But
You still managed to
really
run
hilly.
142 with a hilly
143.
half marathon.
Yeah, which I was buzzing with. So my previous PB was the Thames Meander half, which is also kind of on
which was
trail.
145 or just under 145.
Yeah, I like sneaked on
That
the
sounds like my
145.
kind of race, just meandering around.
Yeah, but then that kind of was on a bit more on trail. That was actually, I saw Harry Judd when I did that race. Good
I feel like
times.
Harry Judd just
The
does
little
all
high
the
five.
races.
Yeah, all the London races.
You saw
But
how he did when? This time?
no, when I did the Thames Meander.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
But
So
yeah,
you're
this
harking
time-
back to another time when you've
Oh,
See,
not
good
sorry,
times.
spoken to
yeah.
Harry Judd.
But yeah, this time, super hilly, absolutely loved it. Tom also really enjoyed it. And basically, we're calling it, with the amount of hills, I'm calling it for Tom a PB,
Yeah.
even though he was, I think, like 30 seconds off. But yeah, with the amount of hills. So me and Tom now need to go find a flat half, because I think we could both.
Yeah. It's just
Knock
something
some
in the locker.
serious- yeah.
That's really exciting.
Loads of people who did that, the Cambridge half is in a couple of weeks, and everyone was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, you can probably take like 6 minutes off if you run.
Well, yeah, Cambridge is notoriously flat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not too far from you. So yeah, you could go and do that.
Well, I'm skiing, so I can't. But
Oh, it's a tough
It's a
did
good
have a
life,
bit.
isn't it? Spas, skiing.
Yeah,
Hey,
she's
look!
living your life.
Hilly half marathon.
Have you looked into my diary?
I don't
Yeah.
have kids, so I can
It's a good life.
live a life.
I
of
do have
luxury.
kids.
Yeah.
Actually, in fairness, I'm not going skiing, but I'm doing all of the running.
Yeah, how's the running going?
Um,
You knocked out some good. I'm enjoying this like steady 10k on a Saturday. It's a bit depressing to see on Strava that Andy's just knocking out a steady 36-minute 10k and then bashing out a long run the day after. But
yeah, that was.
looks like it's going
and I was
well.
joking with the guy that I ran with. So I ran with another guy local to me, and we had to, because both of us had kids stuff in the morning. So we started our session at 6:45
Grim.
on Saturday morning. In the sort of, the darkness was. What do you say? The dawn was coming in the dawn light, and
The dawn light.
He's
creating a picture here.
yeah,
Oh, this is really
and I
It's
said
one of the most interesting
just
he's ever
imagine
been.
like two men in a car park
no, it was a beautiful route in the
dawn
countryside.
light.
A couple of Mondeos.
A broken down van being towed in the background.
Yeah, brilliant. Lots of lovely fields, actually.
Where
But
do you meet? Where do you set this up?
we just meet in the centre of the town, like quite near
Right.
to his house, and then we set off. And the first bit's hilly, so we used that as our warm up, and then we used a flatter, still undulating route. And yeah, Andy had texted me saying, "Oh, like Saturday, 10k steady at 3:45 per kilometre, which is 37:30." Because that isn't my threshold, so it isn't a tempo or threshold run. It is easier than that, or should be in theory. But in my head, I was like, that's still really fast. And I was joking with James as we were setting off on the run that I said, Andy's called this steady. It's absolutely not steady for me. It's not kind of a steady for me. It should be probably 6 out of 10, 5 or 6 out of 10 effort. And but then actually, this time it was like, and I felt really controlled running. Yeah,
That's miles.
30.
That's miles. Because you run in miles, don't you?
No, I run in kilometers.
But when you were a pro, you ran in miles,
Yes.
and then you converted to make it more normal.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that.
you didn't
So
have
sorry,
to work
so
out the
you were
distances.
supposed to run a 37:30.
Yeah.
And what did you run?
36:40. But we just got into
So
actually,
Yeah.
and I would I can happily, because I also ran with James on Sunday, and I was giving him a bit of stick for it because basically every time we were hit a little hill or a section into the wind, because it was going to be harder, James would put in like a surge to try and, in his head, I think, maintain the regular pace.
Yeah.
But actually just meant we got faster and kind of faster and faster. And then I sort of didn't let him, I was like, well, you've set the pace now, so let's just carry on at this. And he's like, oh.
Rate that.
So that's why we were a bit quicker than we intended to be. But it felt good. And then 90 minutes solid run on Sunday, actually, again, going a bit quicker than I'd normally run. So we did do a half marathon in about 9 minutes on Sunday. So it's been...
Who is he?
An hour and a
I
half.
know.
for a half.
I don't
Oh,
even know
is
what's
he
going
okay?
on. And I'm
Yeah.
enjoying it. Even though it was drizzling solidly for the first hour of my Sunday run, we were chatting away.
Oh, did you get rain?
Yes, I did get rain.
Oh, it was lovely
Do you
and dry.
get
over
delayed
in
onset muscle soreness the day after, or the day?
I do from my weights at the moment because I've been in the gym trying to actually, because I'd been doing broadly the same actual load for a couple of years, but I've been putting up by 5 or 10 kilos in the front squats and stuff that I'm doing, and I get DOMs from that, but I'm not getting DOMs from the running so much now.
What about you, Sarah?
Paul, I need to do more gym stuff. I for the first time ever in my racing existence, did a warm up and a cool down for a half marathon. Proud.
Impressive.
How good was that? So I did a 2k where the race started. There's like this mile loop that everyone does. So I did a 2k warm up, did my half, then I did a 2.5k cool down, and my legs feel dreamy. So warm up and cool down, kids. It really does work, even though you feel like an
Warm down.
absolute lemon doing
down.
it afterwards. I was just running around with my running around with my medal, and everyone was like, "You've missed it. The race is finished. The race is that way." And I was like, "I'm cooling down."
Did you wave the medal at them? Already got my medal.
No,
thanks.
I had all
That's
my
impressive,
layers on,
though,
but it
that
just
you
because I
did it.
had
Yeah.
the med, because I still have my bib
I
on.
got it instantly after Friday's long run. So I did 14 last week,
'Kay.
and then went to the Imperial War Museum with
Nice.
a 6-year-old.
That's probably quite good
Yeah,
though.
you
'cause
said
then
you
you're,
said
like,
you were doing this.
walking it off.
I know you were making fun of me. I can't imagine Andy going to the cinema and stuff. I think if you gave most 6-year-olds the choice between
You took your
the
6-year-old
cinema
to
and the Imperial War Museum, what are you doing? There are some good museums in London as well.
Loved it.
Okay.
Really?
Literally went to the World War II galleries and she had so many questions. The problem was
You didn't know any
because she's
answers.
only this high. I had to keep going down on one knee to explain it because there's so much noise in there, and I was like, "Ow!" Oh, because I'd just done that long
it
one.
Oh,
this
just a
morning.
question about
Exhibit?
DOMs.
Say again.
Was it a kids exhibit?
They have a kids section in there, yeah.
Oh, it's quite intense for a
Well, you get- I get-
6-year-old.
No, whenever you go to
Yeah.
the
This
museum,
is World War
you go in. You
Yeah,
go
this
in.
is how everyone died.
Yeah, you go in. Yeah, I find like someone who works there go, what is the best room for a 6-year-old? And they'll give them like a board to tick stuff off on.
Yeah.
And then you
Imagine if
send them
they were
in.
like, if you go down that way for about 2 miles, there's a soft play.
It's a room in another building, sir. But I can very much help with that.
Yeah, we literally just spent 2 hours in the shelter without hiding. Yeah.
Wow. We should talk about whether your
Yeah.
first or your fastest marathon is the hardest. But before we do, I've got a very brief public service announcement about my watch that I think might help both of you. I discovered
Great.
this the other day. So Garmin have released quietly a new pace field called rolling pace. And it's not, so it's like a halfway house, but I always bang on about lap pace. So
Yeah.
if you have your live instantaneous pace, it fluctuates quite a lot. So, you look down 1 second and it say you're running 9-minute miles, and then it might say 11-minute miles. And
Yeah,
it's
I
quite
have
hard
lap pace. It's great.
Yeah, so lap pace then just, if you've got auto lap set for say 1 kilometre or 1 mile, your lap pace will show you the pace that you're going to run or you are running for that lap. Then it's not necessarily a massive problem, but then when you tick over and it auto laps 1K or 1 mile, the lap pace resets. So you can find that if you've slowed down towards the second half of your lap, then when your auto lap happens, your lap pace resets, and that can then give you quite a big jump in the lap pace for your new lap. And you might have to speed up or slow down depending on what's happened.
Yeah.
Rolling pace is like a constant rolling average. I don't know.
That's good.
I don't know. So it's effectively lap pace, but it doesn't reset when your auto lap happens.
On your kilometre.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know exactly. I think it's a few minutes. So it's like it takes your most recent few minutes of running, and it's like this is the kind of rolling pace that you're running. So it doesn't fluctuate like live pace, and doesn't reset on auto lap like lap pace. It kind of is a perfect halfway house.
Oh, I love that.
There you go. You
I
both
don't-
looked at me very cynically when I said I've got a little bit of public service announcement.
I don't know if I understand.
Okay.
Oh,
What the
yeah,
difference-
rolling
found it.
pace. I got it.
That's more miraculous than anything here, is that without any direction, Rick has navigated to the correct place on his watch and
All right,
found
I'll
where
give it a
Garmin have
go.
rolling pace.
I'm adding that right now.
I don't know.
You're not keen?
No, I don't know if I'm sold, but
Okay.
maybe I'm not sure I was listening to your explanation.
You immediately started trying to find it on your watch, didn't you? And didn't
Well,
listen
then
to
I
what
just
was
had a
saying.
little clear up of my watch screen because I've got a few
Yeah,
left
that's
on
fine.
there
So
that
I
I
just
don't
decided to do
use.
something else
Great.
altogether.
You two, before we dive into the details on this,
Yeah.
instant answer. What is harder, your first marathon or your fastest marathon?
I'm going to say fastest, but I'm going to have a caveat with that. Of that, I actually think in today's age, people today,
2026.
2026,
Right now.
I think first is getting harder every year, but I actually think fastest.
Why is first getting harder every year?
I'll explain.
Oh, okay. So you're giving your instant answer, and then we're gonna find out why.
Yeah.
I think just in terms of pure trepidation and how, just how you feel in the build up to it and the unknown, I'm going first as well.
I'm going first as well because you don't know what's about to happen.
But I do think there's elements of running your fastest marathon which are harder for very different reasons.
Oh, really? Right. So it's both of you versus me.
Are you saying fastest is harder?
Let's get into it.
Nice.
So can I start off with why I think first is getting harder? I think first is getting harder because every year there's more and more and more information, content, knowledge, noise, awareness of marathons. So I think for a lot of people, they're having to come into marathons with a lot more knowledge kind of on how hard it is compared to like when I first did my first marathon. I didn't really feel like there was that much noise.
You think that people are now more aware that it's hard?
Yeah. And I think that,
As opposed to they're just like
No,
really
I
blasé and going into it thinking this will be all right.
No, I think, well, we've even seen it with Rick. Like when I think for a lot of people, when you say, I'm going to do a marathon,
Yeah.
I think it's getting worse and worse of people being like, great, what time are you going to do? And I think the more you do that, the harder the first one will be. Because my biggest advice to anyone taking on a marathon for the first time would be, don't look at pace. don't look at speed. The only
Yeah.
reason you should be looking at pace is to slow yourself
To make
down.
make sure you're not overcooking
Don't
it.
aim for a target.
Yeah.
I just think it's such an unknown that I think if you have too high expectations, then your first will definitely be your hardest.
Yeah.
However, I do think there are so many more things at play in your fastest marathon attempts that I think they're harder.
Assuming, so you're saying don't aim for a target on your first
Yeah.
under any circumstances. Andy, do you agree?
Well, I think it depends on your background in running. I don't think I could have done that. Like, I don't think I'd have, because I wanted to go from where I was only running once or twice a week and was just sort of doing sort of the odd 5K here and there, to then going to run my very first marathon. I was terrified of not being able to complete the distance. And so I wasn't really worried about time. But
But then what happened in the actual race?
yeah, I'd moved the goalpost and I was chasing a time, and that made it more challenging.
So then what happened to 30k to the end?
Yeah, it was disastrous.
Yeah.
No, but my point was going to be that I don't think I'd have got out of the door for that 16-week training program and actually been as diligent as I was about doing the runs without the pace goal that I was working to. So
But then I feel like you can have at the moment, I don't have a goal for Rotterdam, pace goal. I think I talked about this a little bit last week, maybe. I literally don't have if you ask me what time do I want to run, I really don't have
You're just going to run as you feel.
I'm just going to run as I feel. And I'm still motivated to go out and do all of my sessions. But the times that I'm running in the sessions are associated to other things. So I'm doing, maybe this is because I've had such a big gap between like marathon attempts, but my long runs are just go out and kind of run at conversational pace.
Yeah.
My sessions are 10k pace or half marathon pace or 5k pace.
But
I'm
those
still
paces then dictate what your marathon pace could be, though.
Yeah, but they don't need to.
But I think, is it not useful,
In my head,
though,
they do that.
even as a first-time marathon runner, is it not useful, for example, to say, you know what, I'm going to do a negative split marathon, because you can go and do your first half and keep yourself slow so you don't go too fast, and then just go a little bit faster. So actually use it as a superpower, use it as a strength that you've set yourself a small goal of not going off too fast.
That I can get on board with. Maybe I just feel like I fell into the trap with my first marathon of started running at a certain pace, looked at my half marathon time, wanted to go for a certain time, and then the wheels completely fell off. And I feel like that makes it.
Yes.
What, on your first one?
Yeah, and that makes it so much harder. I would still say London Marathon 2024 is the hardest marathon I've ever run, but I think
Because you're trying to run your fastest.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I did, and the worst thing is that I did, but I still think my first marathon in Amsterdam was easier than
Well,
my fastest.
let's break it down. I think that the reason that our first marathon is challenging is because it's complete fear of the unknown. You've literally never asked your body to do that thing.
Yeah.
In most cases.
Never
most
run that
people
far.
aren't running 42.2 kilometers, 26.2 miles in training.
No.
So they know that there's going to be a point, like for me, it was at 32K, where you're like, oh, this is totally uncharted territory.
Yeah.
My body's doing something it's never done before.
Into the unknown.
And you don't know what the cumulative fatigue's going to. I was worried about, cramping or getting injured. I also had no idea how my stomach was going to respond, and like whether I was going to be able to eat or drink enough, and what it was going to be like to drink on a course. Like, because I could practice with my water bottles, but they're not the same as being handed a water bottle by a stranger at a point in a city that you've never been to before.
Yeah.
So I think that that's the terrifying bit about the first marathon. But then fastest, it's the fear of, I'm going to be pretty close to like my physiological limits for quite a long time here.
Mm-hmm.
And it shifts the focus from like, can I do this thing, to, well, I know I can finish, but I don't know whether I can maintain this pace. And that was the big difference for me, marathon 1 to marathon 2. Yes, I had a time goal the first time, but I was more worried about finishing. The second time I was like 5K in. It's like, oh God, I've got to hold this pace for 37 kilometers now.
Yeah.
Like, that was terrifying, as opposed to previously when I'd just been thinking, oh, just like try and soak this up and not worry too much about pace and just relax for the first half. Like, it did totally shift so I'm sort of, I'm agreeing.
So then,
I'm
then
saying
you
that
said,
fastest hard. I said that pure dread and like anticipation and worry about what's to come first was harder. But then in the race itself,
yeah,
the fastest for me was
Harder.
harder. So more like beforehand, first was harder. During, fastest was harder in terms of like both mental and physical.
Do you know
Physically, obviously, it's harder the second time if you're running faster.
Yeah, but then I don't know because I feel like physically the first one's really, really hard because I don't think, to be fair, thinking back, I don't think anything quite, but then this is probably because I went off too fast and blew up, but like the dot, I can't really remember that much from the marathons that I've done. I can literally picture the road in Amsterdam where I had to stop and walk because the DOMs in my legs mid-race were that bad.
Yeah, that is
it literally,
mad.
it felt like there was an elastic band going from my hip to my ankle and like stretching my leg out straight, I just couldn't do because it was so tight.
Oh God.
So bad. What I was going to say is I think I've realised that I don't believe in the red line as a runner.
What?
I think I would like to start a club for the orange line.
Oh, so you don't believe in it. It's not like you don't believe it exists.
Oh no, sorry. I don't believe in running
At
to
your
it.
red line.
Yeah.
I don't
just
think you
feel
can
like,
write your red line for the marathon either. I think if you, well, maybe,
No, but then I
or
think
do you have
there
a
is.
different red line for each event?
I think you've got a different red line for
I
every
just
event.
don't think why are we running to red lines? Why can't we run to orange lines?
Well, because naturally in our human instinct to try and better ourselves.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I would like
Great
to.
things never come from comfort zones or something like that. Something that you see up on the wall in a gym.
I love a comfort zone. Do you know where I want to be? I imagine like a custard cream. And
I love
one
Underestimated cheap
one-
biscuit.
I love a custard cream, to be fair.
One biscuit.
Custard cream or bourbon?
custard
Custard
cream.
Ooh.
One side of the biscuit is the red line. The other side of the biscuit is a green line. I want to be the filling in the middle, orange. Like it's a little bit hard.
The soft squishy bit.
The soft squishy bit in
You're
the middle.
always pushing yourself.
Yeah, I know,
So
but
Ever
I
open
don't
them up,
think.
ever
goes
open them up and
against
lick
what-
out the
yeah.
inside bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what season we're in at the moment, by the way? Cream egg season. Woo! Have you tried the white cream egg?
I mean, we've taken a tangent here. No, I haven't.
10
That
out of
sounds
10.
too sweet. The regular cream egg's already too
No,
sweet
it's
for
the
me.
best time of the year. You can have a hot cross bun for breakfast, which,
Oh, there was a sigh of delight from Owen
me and
behind the
Owen have a
cameras.
shared love of
Hot
hot
cross
cross bun.
bun.
Did you have a hot cross bun for breakfast? On the weekend.
Does this translate outside of the UK? So one cream egg is a Cadbury thing. Does that exist in the US or Australia? I'd love to know. Let us know.
Oh my god, if it doesn't,
Yeah.
Cadbury's
Get
are now owned by
yourselves-
an American company.
Yeah, I think they are.
they've probably
That
done
doesn't mean that
something
they
so it
still
doesn't
roll out
taste
all the
as good.
British chocolates
What
everywhere.
basically,
Yeah.
I would love to know whatever they put inside a cream egg because, like, can you buy that in a jar?
Oh, that's disgusting.
Just spoon it out. Anyway,
This is a great analogy.
I
Basically, you just don't
can't-
want to work that hard. You
No,
don't
but
want to
I
hit your red
find-
line. You want to just be squishing around in the custardy
Yeah.
middle.
yeah, and I want to see how much headroom I have with
Well,
that.
hang on. If I'm trying to understand because you were always
I mean, that's the
pushing
story
yourself.
of the podcast.
You are trying to always
life.
push your lactate threshold when you're going for a.
Whoa, Rick's using big words. Dirty on.
I'm trying to understand where you're at.
Right, sorry, yeah. At the lactate threshold.
Yeah, so when you basically can't get rid of the lactate quick enough, your body can't get rid of it.
Yeah,
Did
you
you
go
know
from
interesting-
working aerobically to anaerobically.
Yeah.
I think from stuff I've been reading recently, this is a total aside and one that I'm sure people are going to pile into comments and tell me I've got wrong, but I'm going to try and say it anyway. Lactic acid is two things. It's lactate and it's hydrogen ions.
Right.
And they're the byproducts. Everyone thinks of lactate and has always thought of lactate as a thing that you kind of fill up with lactate and you
Right.
feel heavy and tired and that's your like enemy.
Yeah.
But actually, the thing I was reading recently, which we need to dive into more, is that lactate can be used as a fuel. And yes, that does accumulate in your blood and you can measure that to measure how hard you're working anaerobically. But it's actually the hydrogen ions that are the thing that causes the fatigue and
So if
means
your
that you're
legs
hitting
feel-
that heaviness and so on.
So if your legs feel really heavy, it's because you've got too much hydrogen.
Hydrogen. Oh, I mean, they're one and the same. You
Hydrogen
don't have one without the other. So they're
Right.
both, but it's,
So there's lactate and hydrogen.
yeah. So as lactate is rising, you are also becoming more fatigued. But
Right.
actually, my understanding from what I've read recently is it's the hydrogen ions that are causing the muscular fatigue.
Well, it does feel like my feet have turned into irons when that happens.
different spelling, but okay.
You know, that actually just brings it right down to a good level.
Do you know what I mean?
Just feels like my feet are irons. That's it. I get it.
And that is the feeling.
I get it. I know. I totally get it.
So, Rick, what's your argument for the fact that the first is harder? The
And you're in
fact that
good
you haven't
company
done
here.
the fastest.
You're in good company here because we did poll the Running Channel Club to ask everyone what they thought. And 69% said they thought the first was the hardest.
Interesting.
So-
Why do you think the first?
I think the main reason would be you don't know how your body's going to react when you go past your maximum run, but also how you're going to fuel when you go past your maximum run. So if you've only ever fueled on training runs for 30 kilometers and you've got to do an extra 10 or 12 kilometers, then how is your body going to react to that? And also time on feet, which I think is probably not talked about as much as it probably should be.
Yeah.
The fact that if you have trained where you've gone to 3 hours on your feet, but you're going to be going 4 hours, well, time on feet is everything. If you're a really fast runner and you're getting it done in 3 hours, and you might know your body can get through that, but an extra hour, how's your body going to react to it?
Yeah.
Do you feel like, because it's been a long time, 2017, since between your first and second marathons,
Yeah, 9 years.
does it feel kind of like running your first again? Because you're in an unusual position where you are trying to run faster than the first time. So it is sort of, you're
I
aiming
feel
for
far
both.
more confident this time.
Really?
You're the king of unfounded confidence, aren't you?
Far more confident.
That's because
Fuel-
you really didn't do any training for the
No, I
last one, did you?
I did. I just did a lot of extracurricular naughtier stuff on the side.
Oh, hello.
Oh my God, you tried to make that sound so PG and it sounded so much worse.
Yeah, you doing naughtier stuff on the side.
No, I was just going out a lot 9 years ago during that. I mean, it was when mine and Andy's friend called Pugwash still lived in London.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so we just used to go out a lot.
Right.
So I don't think I set myself up right. And also, secondly, I got the worst stomach bug in the week of the marathon in 2017.
Really?
Yeah. So, and when I say naughty, so I was like, I wasn't fueling. I wasn't looking after myself. Was not eating properly. Whereas now I just feel like I'm doing.
Then either.
Didn't have the collagen. I just feel like I'm in a better. I've got more knowledge, partly to sit next to you two idiots.
And Rick listens apparently.
Yeah,
Unlike Sarah.
I just feel a lot more confident this year.
So let's wrap up, and then we've got a few insights from people in the club with what they've said, but also my last point, I suppose, is the pressure expectation shifts. I think like I felt much less pressure for my first marathon.
Yeah.
But I felt way more. So, I mean, it's self-imposed pressure.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're talking about it on a podcast and we do videos about it. So there's that external pressure, but my worst pressure is from myself. And as soon as there was a big time goal that was ambitious, that was the kind of not quite crippling pressure. I quite like it most of the time, but that was very different.
And it's the emotional investment, I guess, that you put in it as well.
Yeah. Like you feel like you put loads of time into something.
Yeah, it's the longest training block that you probably do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like that then translates into quite a lot of, like, you literally put in hours and hours and hours and hours and hours for that one day. And that's why it's so heartbreaking when there are like external factors outside of your control that affect it as well, like the heat or
blisters or like fueling or like needing the toilet. Like,
what happened in the race that we're going to talk about in the news later on in this episode.
Yeah.
Like there are so many different things that can happen.
And I think when you finish your first marathon, you're going to get congratulations from everybody regardless.
Yeah.
Whereas then the next time when you go and try and run your time, if you don't hit that time,
which is ridiculous because you still run a marathon, but I
think it's in your head, right? Where you go and see someone afterwards and they're like, "Oh, well done, great job."
And you're like,
but I knew I could finish, so that wasn't the thing I was trying to do today.
Yeah.
Whereas
I still think you need to, regardless of whether it's your first, your fastest, or your 100th marathon, I still think you need to like appreciate the fact that you have completed the distance again. Because I do feel like a marathon. Maybe half marathon as well, but like I could not tell you how many 5Ks I've done or how many 10K or halves. How many marathons I've done is a number that I am incredibly proud of. Yeah. So I think, but I need to do a better job of remembering that when I finish, because I think I go like, did I get my time? And that's all I care about.
Yeah. Oh, well, a very quick couple of summaries from the club. Just we asked your opinion on this, and I think I'm broadly agreeing with what we're saying. Samantha's interesting. She said that the results of this make me very optimistic for the future. I've got a marathon in April and my first was in September, and holy hell, it was hard. I know the clue in the name, but it did go on a bit. It's such a lovely message. And you don't know how your body's going to react afterwards. So yeah, that the solace she's taking the results there is saying that nearly 70% of people said their first was the hardest.
Yeah. Do you know what I think they should change? I was talking about this with Owen because we filmed a video last week, which was stop when you think you've run a half marathon.
Yeah.
They really need to change the name of the half marathon to something else.
Just give it its own name.
Yeah, because it's so like obviously good luck everyone, myself included, running a marathon.
Yeah.
But half marathons is so much better.
Yeah,
Like you can
we
celebrate
start a
for
campaign
longer
now?
afterwards. Like just call it like the 13.
Yeah. Okay. Podcast at therunningchannel.com. We want to know, what would you call the half marathon? Like a totally new name. So
Like
not
a new word.
Yeah. Like because nothing.
Strawberry.
Yeah. It could be anything. Like all the brands, they're random names. They're like amalgamations of someone's first and last name. They're like the Greek goddess of victory. All of this sort of stuff. Like
Oh, maybe we could do an amalgamation.
we could just
The Anoric.
That wouldn't work.
The Anoric.
I quite like.
Or we
just
name it after
calling
ourselves. That's quite
the
like-
13.
The 13.
It's not
How many
13 though, is it? It's
13s
No,
have
the
you got?
13.1.
Yeah.
The 13.1.
But then what if you work in kilometres?
The 21.1.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Then there's
have
two
the
names
same
for it
Yeah,
already.
let's just stick with
All
half
right, let
marathon.
us know what we should call it. Should
Wow.
we talk about some news?
Yeah.
News. Right, so Megan Keith set a women's European 10K record at this race in Spain in Castellón. But we watched...
I don't think that's how you pronounce it, but I'm not going to
Is
try.
Castellón. Castellón.
I don't know.
Castellón.
Yeah, I don't know how you.
You're getting
I'm
more
not good at
French.
Spanish.
As you go on.
But
we
the,
want to talk about the start
but
of
the
this
start
race,
line
though.
of this thing. So we watched the video and it was very aggressive, people, how they
It's very narrow, and they've let a
narrow.
lot of people go in one go. Like there's
But
no kind of.
yeah.
It's not an elite start, then holding back. The
It's just
masses are
all
going
this-
in waves. It looked like the whole race just went bang.
But one woman fell over, was on the floor,
Yeah.
but then a series of about 5 or 6 people fell over, and it just involved essentially dozens of runners climbing over the top. It
was
didn't
chaos.
look safe, and it
No.
looked pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I agree. And you could see actually. So it's interesting that Megan Keith, British runner, she set a European record 30:07, I believe, which is phenomenal, and is a 1 second improvement on Ailish McColgan's European record.
Love that. Kiss
And-
the PB.
And Ailish was in the same race,
Mm-hmm.
but she's deep into marathon training. So I imagine probably not as sharp as she would normally be for over 10K. But you could see them disappear off into the distance. They didn't get caught up on this. And then, the people behind them, obviously, you've already crossed the line.
That for me would be gutting in a 10K race, because like that is literally seconds that you can't get back. But also like imagine starting off and then falling and literally feeling like hundreds of people traveling over.
Yeah, and then you might be hurt a little
Terrifying.
bit. And then you're also like, part of you, like you've already crossed the line.
Yeah.
So your chip timing started, or if it's gun timing, like it's already started.
Yeah.
So I know that we don't want people getting hurt. It's way more important than the time
Yeah.
that you run. There's a lot of pros that are like, this might be a really important race in their calendar.
Just
And
have
for anyone who's
separate
on the start
elite
line.
start, because what happens in those type of races, you'll get people who go, "Oh, I'm dead fast, I can nail it."
Yeah.
Who are lined up
Yeah, I'll
next
win
to
the
Ailish.
first 100
Like, you just
meters.
see some bloke at the front literally elbow
Yeah.
people next to him to try and make some
Quite
space to
often
get
is
out.
quite elbowy.
Yeah, we used to get told at cross country at school, elbows out on the start line for exactly that reason, to kind of
Right.
protect your space. So I fell over in the first 10 meters of a mile race once. I'd gone all,
Did you carry
all the way. I'd gone to Oxford for the 50-year anniversary of Bannister's 4-minute mile. It was the first time I'd ever been in an elite race like that.
Right.
Fell over in the first 10 meters.
Did you carry on?
I did carry on, yeah, but it was a total write-off.
Right.
Around 4:05.
Someone start,
Oh yeah, total
Did
right
someone
off
come over the top of
405
you?
for a mile.
Well, when I was
God.
trying to, you've gone to the home of the 4-minute mile.
yeah.
Yeah.
What
What were you trying to run? Sub 4?
Sub 4, yeah.
Right.
I did not do it.
405, quite close.
Maybe I actually think probably it was like 4:10, 4:15. I don't know, but I got up. and-
Rubbish.
well,
So
at the time it was just so. I was like, oh well, you knew. I almost just stopped after 10 meters. I was like,
Yeah,
well,
I
that's,
would.
that's like, what's the
Yeah.
point?
Yeah, exactly. What
Like,
is the point
yeah.
in a 4:15?
And also, got to mention this week, after our big debate on Keely
Yeah, Keely Hodgkinson.
last week.
She got a world record.
She got a world record.
In
We did have to do a
Leaven?
slight little
Yeah, I did.
panic
I put a little
insert.
insert into last week's show.
Yes, you did.
But she is now the world record holder of the 800 meters indoors.
Yeah. Although I believe they start to. World Athletics have stopped calling it indoors. They call it short track. A bit like how in the Winter Olympics you have short and long track.
That is
like
going to be
speed
one of those
skating.
things that will never catch on.
No.
Yeah.
But if you look at the records on the
It's
online,
either indoor
Yeah.
or it's outdoor.
Oh, is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
because though they're going to call it? Because aren't they doing a world indoor, on treadmills?
oh, they are doing that soon. Yeah.
So maybe that's why they're having to change it. Because then you've got long track, short track,
And
and
then
then
indoor
indoor,
might be-
which would
might
be
be
on a
on
treadmill.
treadmills,
Yeah.
It's fascinating. And
Confusing.
but Keely broke the record by almost a second. It was set on her birthday. Sorry, it was the record itself that she'd broken was one of the longest standing indoor world records, and it was set on the day she was born.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Oh,
didn't
that's
know that.
neat,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Destined to be an 800
And watching
meter
her
runner.
chase down the wave light technology was spectacular. How fast she's run there.
I do like the wave light technology. I feel like that is so useful as a spectator.
Yeah, interestingly, they had it at the British Trials that I know you were talking about, and I think that's less well received because that's a championship race. And I think having sort of a pacemaker equivalent in a championship race is sort of against the principle of how championship races should go.
I think it'd be better if it was completely dark.
Ooh, yeah.
And
just
just
the lights.
those lights.
Beep, 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 beep,
That
beep,
would
beep,
look
beep,
incredible. I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
If you were, so Keely is in the enviable position where she now has both a world record and an Olympic gold medal. If you had to choose though, if at the end of your pro athletics career, would you choose an Olympic gold medal or would you choose a world
record every time?
I'd have an Olympic gold medal.
Yeah,
Would
me
you?
too. I think it's mental
Yeah.
to go for the world record.
World record, you're going to be on a list.
Yeah, but not
literally
forever
for the
though.
Yeah, not
rest of
forever,
time.
it's
No,
gonna
not
go.
forever though, because someone
Yeah.
can break that. You've got an Olympic gold forever.
go.
You're always the Olympic champion.
Yeah, but loads of people get Olympic golds. In
No, they don't.
in 4 years' time.
No, they
No, hang on.
One person gets it every 4 years.
Yeah.
In 4 years' time,
Yeah.
you can guarantee that
Someone
your name will be knocked off by someone else.
No, but
No,
you'll still have the
you
medal.
still
though.
have the gold.
So you'll still be Olympic champion.
Yeah, but
from
you're
that.
s-
You
you
don't get like
still-
superseded.
Do you know?
Like,
Do
you're
you know
always the
why?
Olympic
Do you know
champion.
why?
at Olympics.
Because Andy is hoping within about 10 years' time he'll have an Olympic gold. Because so many people will have been done for doping.
He'll work his way up from ninth to first.
Hey, well, I'm
No, I
already
feel
eight.
like world record. No, world record, because then you go like, ooh, who have they taken? As in,
Yeah.
like, so how old's Keely? 22,
3, I think.
23? So that record stood for 23 years.
Yeah.
And then the day she breaks it, remember when so and so broke it 23 years ago?
See, I don't. So
and
I
then you get raked back up. Whereas that gold medal that you got that one time in an Olympics, 4 years later,
but
bam,
I think
old
like
news.
think Sebco, Steve Yvette, they're like when people talk about them, they talk about them as being Olympic champions.
Did
but
they break world records?
broke multiple world records, but none of
See.
those records still stand though. But they're
Yeah, but
still
I
Olympic
think-
champions from
I
the
don't
80s.
think their names would be as big if they hadn't broken world records. Because that's
that's a
not
fair point.
that's not only your fast, that is the fastest of all
That's
time.
ever been.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's cool, but I think that I'd wagered.
I think
90
it's cool.
No, but I think I'd bet serious money that 95 to 100% of the athletes that are competing at the Olympics and the World Champs would pick
Olympic.
Olympic.
I wonder
Olympic
what you get
champion.
paid more. I'd love an insight into all of their contracts because there must be. Surely
Oh
you
yeah,
get-
which is the bigger
which
bonus,
is the
Olympic
bigger
champion
bonus?
or world record?
Brands get in touch. Let us know.
I think Olympic champion would be a bigger record.
No, I think world
a
record.
bit of payout.
Because then
a
the
bigger
brand.
payout.
Think of it this way: what does the brand want? A shoe which has 6 golds,
That's a
or a
cynical way of
shoe
thinking,
which
that's it.
has a world record? That is a world
Yeah.
record breaking shoe.
But then I suppose imagine you were Mondo Duplantis' sponsor, and he can break the world record 6 times a year. Then you don't want that to be the highest.
something that like 30 times. Yeah. So
This was a good debate.
Interesting.
I think I've done all right there with posing that hypothetical question.
Yeah,
let us know. Yeah, and now, very excitingly, I think we got our first ever voice note.
Oh, I'm excited for this.
question from David. I might not like this.
Hey Andy, Sarah, and Bjorn. I am David from Edinburgh, originally from Massachusetts, and I have a question about running shoes. I've heard a lot of talk about the potential performance benefits of carbon-plated shoes versus regular trainers, but I was wondering what sort of performance knock I may be experiencing by running in my old pair of trainers. They have well over 2,000 miles in them, and while I think they're holding up great, I would love an excuse for why I'm not running faster. Thanks, guys.
Right, before we answer the question about, I guess he's talking about how old, he's got 2,000 miles in a pair of super shoes. So he's got the super shoes, but they're old. Before, can we just play the first few seconds of that again, Rick?
Hey Andy, Sarah, and Bjorn.
Bjorn.
Yes,
Andy,
Sarah, and Bjorn.
and Bjorn.
So
Why are you
Like,
called Bjorn?
This has come from nowhere.
I love this. I love this.
Like baby Bjorn.
Yeah.
And I was so inspired by this that actually I may have asked a popular AI to just give us an image of Rick as Bjorn. And so I
Let's
thought
see.
I just thought I'd treat you both to this little gem that maybe we can pop on screen on YouTube as well.
'80s wooden tennis rackets.
Yeah, so he's got a really lovely mullet going on. With,
I think it's
like,
Bjorn
the
Borg
front-
inspired.
The front
Yeah.
piece is kind of just crumbing over the
Great
headband.
sweatband.
You've got an olden days tennis racket, wooden, which is what I do imagine you go to weekly tennis
Yeah,
with.
yeah, it's his one from his
And then
childhood.
you've got lovely, completely matching outfits with armbands,
Sweatbands.
shorts, a lovely little a zip up.
Yeah.
polo
Oh yeah,
neck,
like a half zip polo
which
neck.
you really
I-
don't see that
I-
often.
David, where does that come from?
Bjorn.
Where did that come from?
I don't think to
Anyway.
Made my day. The first one that we've put on the podcast. Thank you,
Hi,
Aaron.
Bjorn.
Yeah.
Please send us in your voice notes to podcast@therunningchannel.com. We should
Right.
answer his question though.
And
Yeah.
yeah, then what do you think about the shoes?
Yeah, there's no way that a 2,000-mile-old pair of super shoes is giving you any benefit. The plate, I imagine, will still have the durability for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like most carbon plates, I'm sure can endure that much. That they'd still be as rigid, I imagine, but the foam will have massively degraded.
How many miles do you get rid of a super shoe?
Right,
after?
there is no. So I don't want to. We'll get, and we will quite rightly get pilloried if I'm like 500 miles, which is what people always used to talk about a pair of running shoes, because people do get loads more out, and some particular brands, particular shoes will get loads less. So you can't. People.
Yeah, like there are some super shoes that come out and it's like one race,
yes,
which is
not great
ridiculous
for the environment.
and when you're spending so much money as well. But I would say, like, this is what you need to look at your shoes.
Yeah.
Look at the wear on the outsole. Look at the wear on the foam. Don't put them in the washing machine, because have you seen people having horror stories where they're literally like the chunks of foam come off the shoes?
Well,
They
I
put
don't-
super shoes.
That was
You've seen
madness
people
to
put
put them in the washing
super shoes
machine.
in the washing
Yeah.
machine. Do you know what I found when I did put some normal trainers in the washing machine? I found that they started squeaking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I just think hose them down, and then do you want to? So I've started using a shoe dryer. We've got one in the office.
Oh, the
Have you ever used it?
Atacama, the Save Our Souls Atacama shoe dryer.
Honestly,
Yeah.
best invention. It makes me excited to wash my shoes, because then it literally takes like an hour and a half. Bam, dry. Wear them again.
You just pop them on the little. They're like
It's
sort
like
of
two little rods.
Yeah,
go
and then
inside
you
the
just
shoe.
slot
Like a
your
little
shoe
hair
on
dryer,
top.
right?
Yeah.
they go inside the
You
shoe.
just
Clever.
have to accept that if you haven't washed your shoes that well, whatever room you dry them in will smell like the
wet
shoe.
dog. Wet dog shoe.
But I've already
Lovely.
got
Yeah.
a wet dog, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Well, that's my answer to David, is that yes, actually, you do have a really great excuse. If you've spent money on super shoes but run 2,000 miles in them, then absolutely there's no way they're giving you the energy return that they were when they were new. So I'd say now's the time to invest. I'm pretty confident on that. I'm not going to give a number on it, but I'm going to say 2,000 miles is too many.
It does sound a lot, 2,000 miles.
Yeah. All right, we're
Yeah.
enabling you. Go out, David. Buy some new
Yes,
shoes. Let us know
exactly.
what you purchase.
Yeah.
Hey, just before we go, I was going to do a little shout out actually to Danny. Danny's running his first 100-mile ultra marathon along the Thames Path to raise money for MND. He lost both his parents to MND, and he's a big fan of the podcast, and he wrote in, and good luck to him for his 100-miler.
Wow, that's
that's
amazing.
coming up in
Best
May.
of luck.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
It's a lovely note to finish on.
Yeah.
So send us your voice notes to podcast@therunningchannel.com. We will do our best to play them out. And hopefully, if you've got an interesting name for any of us that isn't our actual name,
Bjorn.
then lead with that.
I never in a million years would have called you Bjorn.
Bjorn.
What would you call Rick if he wasn't called Rick?
Bjorn again.
But I don't know where that came from. It's just so bizarre.
Yeah, I like it. He clearly, maybe he's just been listening to ABBA prior to recording
Archie.
the... yeah. Yeah.
Just-
Full name, Archibald.
Go on, Bennett, let's just finish now.
Thanks so much for coming along for another week of madness, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.